You've discussed responsibility is the meaning of life. I've found this to be true, but how do you avoid spreading yourself too thin?
Well, fundamentally, you leave something for somebody else, right? I mean, I think it was Dostoevsky. Dostoevsky said, we're each responsible not only for everything we do, but for everything everyone else does, which is, of course, an insane thing to say. But it's true, and it's true in the strange sense that profound things are true, which means in an incomprehensible sense, I would say. Our whole cultures, our free Western cultures, are predicated on the idea that each individual is of eternal and divine significance in some fundamental sense. And we have difficulty with that concept, as well we might, but it is a remarkable fact that those societies that seem to function, we could leave it at that seem to function well enough so people would be inclined to move to them voluntarily, are the societies that are predicated on that idea. And it says, oh, it's not that easy to dismiss that idea, and there are definitely costs to doing so. People who look askance at religious claims think of the notion of the soul, for example, as a kind of primordial superstition. And there's a fair bit of ego in that critique. We don't understand consciousness very well at all. We don't understand its role in being as such. It's not obvious what there would be if there was no one there to experience it. It's not that obvious what there is in the absence of such experience, and so the significance of human consciousness is not clear. But what is clear is that societies that assume that it's significant and structure themselves so that assumption is acted out and presumed seem to function inordinately well. And I would also say that that's also the case for the relationships that people make at a more local level. So if you treat your wife, your husband, as if they're of inordinate worth, let's say in some fundamental sense, then things might go reasonably well for you in that relationship. And vice versa. If you treat people as if they're worthless, you generally get back what you invest. So, the problem with that line of thinking is it does pose the problem that this questioner posed, which is, well, how do you not become crushed by the responsibility? And one answer to that is you leave something for someone else, right? You delegate, you give credit where credit is due, you do what you can to foster the development of other people. You understand that even though it's up to you, it's not only up to you, right? And then that's a very strange thing to get right, because if it's up to you, man, it's up to you. But then what about all these other people? Well, it's also up to them. And how can it be up to all of us singly in that manner? And the answer is, I don't know how that is, but it seems to be the case. And so, if it's too much for you, then perhaps you're doing too much. And perhaps you can get some help and accept it, right? Because that's also something that requires great sophistication to manage. It's like the ability to take a compliment, the ability to accept help. You can accept help graciously, and it does open up opportunities for other people. And so you don't have to do, even though you're responsible for everything in some fundamental sense. You don't have to do everything yourself, and no one else gets to. So there's plenty of work to go around. So